gozaimasu. Welcome back to the vlog, everyone. Summer is absolutely in full swing out here in Seattle. As you saw last week, I went on a little overnight trip out to Lopez Island, which is out in the San Juans. That's about 45 minutes north of Seattle driving, and then another 45 to 60 minute car ride. So call it like a 2-hour trip from downtown Seattle. The reason we chose Lopez is because it's the smallest and also the flattest island. I didn't know this until I got back home, but apparently it's also known as the friendliest island as well. And that was evidenced by the fact that when we're driving around, people wave at you. And especially while I'm biking, people wave at you too. Whether they're passing you in the same lane or coming from the other side, people wave at me while I'm biking, which I thought was really cute. Even though this was just an overnight trip, this trip almost didn't happen. We originally planned this as a bike packing trip maybe a few months back with some friends that I bike with around town. And all of us were interested in bike packing at first. I think it's a 60 to 80 mile bike ride from the city up to Anacortes, which is where you take the ferry, and then another 5-ish mile bike ride probably from the ferry terminal to our accommodations. So it was something that we could have definitely done over the course of a couple days. And it was something that we were really excited about. None of us have done a proper bike packing trip before, and so we were excited to do it. But I think as the trip got closer, all of us got kind of busy. The vision was exciting. We all wanted to bike pack, but life got in the way and we weren't able to plan it in the way that we wanted to. And I think at some point, all of us probably could have bailed. We could have made excuses about work or life or all the things in between. I certainly considered it because I was just so busy at work. The last couple of weeks at work have been quite the intense sprint. So in the back of my mind, I was thinking, oh, is this gonna work out? But instead of pushing through this underplanned bike packing trip or pulling out and not going at all, which neither sounds very fun, we decided to lower the bar, take a car, load the bikes on the car, and then take the ferry driving instead of biking on. And at the end of the day, I'm just so glad that we went. It ended up just being the most beautiful weekend. The weather was perfect. It's just a little quiet island town. And so they don't necessarily have a great bike network, but biking around on the streets is really safe. And like I said, the people there were not only friendly, but they were also really respectful on the road to cyclists. And so it made for just some beautiful, beautiful bike rides out there. I just think it's so interesting. I really try hard to not get burnt out at work. And so I try to prioritize rest time over the weekend and trying to get away when I can. But I think I fall into this trap where I treat PTO and time off away from work as this precious thing that needs to be like meticulously planned, or it needs to be some sort of extravagant thing when I'm out of work because I have a limited amount of PTO. I think I put too much value in it almost, that it's just too precious and that I have to pack in the time that I'm taking off and make sure it's optimized and I see all the things that I want to see and do all the things that I want to do. And I feel like a lot of the times that pressure ends up backfiring because I put so much time and effort into planning this perfect vacation, and the relaxation part almost feels performative because I need to tell myself to relax even though I should be unwinding and that I should be relaxing. I think that says a lot about work culture here in the States especially. I think it's pretty common that people get pretty intense at work and you kind of get into a groove of things. And so when it comes time to take a vacation and take time to relax, I end up over-engineering and putting too much pressure on the exact thing that's supposed to make me relax. And I think this trip was a great lesson in that. This trip wouldn't have happened at all if we didn't lower the bar. And at the end of the day, it doesn't even feel like a compromise because without lowering the bar and allowing ourselves to do less, this trip wouldn't have happened at all. We still got to do all of the rides that we wanted to do, all of the things that we wanted to accomplish on the island, and most importantly, this scaled down version of our bike packing lost nothing that mattered. Everything that we wanted to do and accomplish, we still got done. And that was only because we were able to show up. So hopefully this summer and beyond, I want to take that lesson and go on more spontaneous, small little trips around. Because if there's another lesson in this, it's that Seattle is beautiful, Washington State is beautiful. There's so much stuff to do around here that's only a short drive or a ferry ride away. And so I really want to take advantage of that a little bit more. I've lived here my whole life, so I feel like I'm spoiled and I take Washington State and the beauty of the area for granted. And I think that can be said for a lot of places too. I think there's always stuff to do that doesn't require a whole lot of planning or a whole lot of budget in order to relax and reset. You don't need to wait till your next big vacation in order to relax. I think it's hard because, you know, the pressure that we feel at work is very real. At the end of the day, your job is just a job. You know, you can get canned tomorrow and it won't even matter. So in the end, you gotta protect your peace and make sure that you don't burn out and you're still enjoying the things outside of work and you're spending your time the way you wanna spend your time. Yeah, I think this trip was really interesting. I was I was excited to make this into like this epic bike packing vlog, but instead I think I got a better lesson out of it, honestly, because I feel like I'm just so type A about planning and vacations and stuff like that. And the only reason that I was able to get this lesson and go on this trip was because I let that go and let things happen and just go with the flow. So hope y'all are able to relax and enjoy the summertime wherever you are, especially here in Seattle. Summer is very fleeting, and so we got to take advantage of it as much as possible, but go with the flow, you know, just let things happen and give yourself permission to do less, I guess, is the lesson today. Rest of the day today, we're going out to Capitol Hill to a little pop-up at CMC, which stands for Craft Meal Collection. It's a little store out on Olive Way that does prepared foods. I think they do some Asian, Japanese cuisines there as well. They're doing a pop-up with Yolks Coffee, and they asked Balik Tabayan to provide some sounds for the set, and so they asked me to do a little R&B / island vibes set. So a little different type of vibe than I usually do. But yeah, I'm excited about it, and we'll see how it goes.